Hmm. As I said, see, like when we are running the application at that time also it's running first your TS file only. This main.ts file is loading there. But we know like the TS file is cannot renderable. We cannot render the TS file. So again it's taking the help of the IY renderer to like convert this file into the JavaScripts. And then JavaScript file is loading there. In every component also you can see like first TS file is loading. After that TS file is saying like which HTML, which template file like you have to run into your application. So basically see this is one the alternate way like where we can add our HTML file. Or the second way is what? Here you can write your HTML code. Which are the code like now we are typing inside the HTML file. The same code like we can write here also. But what is the better way to like go with that? Just create the separate file only, not that like way, because there is like some more code is there. The style URL is also like define like CSS file where you have to write your code then. Correct. So here also see like now when I'll run this application, what are command to run it? ng-serve. See it will run only your app components, root components, not child components. It is my root component wala file na, basically there is nothing, but I wanted to see like the result of my child component like which is present inside the HTML first work, but it is not showing in anywhere. So what I'll do like I'll come into the app.html which is my root component wala file. I don't want this thing. We have to just keep only this last one line na, that router solid wala. Everything I'll remove it, just save it, just do refresh it here. You can see now it's not showing anything because none of the thing is present on this page. So what I'll do like we'll just set up like the one message, let's say h1 tag AOT. So see like when I'll save it, it is there in left side. GIT was set for your the Angular JS. After that it was updated in Angular. For the TypeScript it was changed AOT compiler. So see here it is again showing the main component, root component wala file. But again what about the child component? How will I get the child component? So again when you come into the first.ts file na, so again selector is added there. App first. Can you see there? In every file, in every TS file like it's added the TS file, that is selector name. So how do I register these selectors into the parent component? Because every time it is rendering these components only na, and it is not good way to like to register this all of the selectors inside the index file. So index file should be render only the one file at a time. Yes or no? We are not rendering everything. We just like render that all of the things in a single file. So index.html it is rendering you are the root component. And when I am calling the root components, like root component should be called to your child components. So how will I get the child component? So for that like what I have to do like I just need to come into app.html. So here again here need to like register that page. Which page like it will ask to like register your the selector name. What was the selector name for the child? Here just check it in a TS file. This app first. I just come here like if you write it over there na, it's showing the error. Why? Because need to import this file. So TypeScript file it will say like first import this file over there and then only add it. So I'll come into the app.ts. Here is the import section na. Just give it comma. Just type. Can you see? Here just showing the component name. My component name is what? First. And whichever like I'm importing there. See now you can see like whenever like I'm importing from there, so it is showing the RxJS. So this is not part of the RxJS. So this is one the component na, basically this is not my RxJS for the library. So like when I'll come into here, see before importing na, like here it will show like many auto suggestions. Just look for there. Can you see there? if you look into this, so this is a part of your component which is present inside the parent. Okay, so this is not getting from the RxJS. RxJS is like the library which is providing the services for calling the backend. Okay, so this is one of the components. Like when I'll save this file and come into this, which URL? Not needed. This, no? See, you can see the URL there, how it is going. In a first project, in an app, like it's creating the first, no? So whenever we are creating the first, no, so it is inbuilting, it's added like the first component there. First is your the component and first.html, it is your the file name. Folder, yes. Folder and file. So first is a folder, na, and then first one is file. Huh? Yes, it's importing like the HTML file there. So now you will come into this first.ts. So like here we have imported na, the HTML file, it will look for this. And here in HTML sites, we have just import the tag. See, this is the registration of your like child component. Once it is done, just save it. So like you can see the result there. Can you see there? Now it is showing. So this is a part of your the registration. So for every registration, it's need only the selector name, not other things. Yes, in a TS file only. So TS file, the import section will take only the component name. Otherwise, rest of your like you have to write the code only, the backend codes. But see, again you can see whenever like you are working with the like the some application. In applications we cannot set like the multiple pages like that, na? So for that like we'll take help of routing. So here is like the routing wala part they have given. Right now we don't know about it, so like that's why like I'm not telling these things. Okay, so like first we'll work out some like the basic things, what things are like required over there inside the components and that one. Clear? So like the routings that also like you can directly import it here. So right now like what I did, like I just like import the selectors only, the components only. So which is working. So how do I work in this component now? Do you remember the array wala parts? Array from the JavaScripts. Same na, as I said, like it is superset of JavaScript. It means it can support like all of the features from JavaScript as well. Okay, so can I create like this? See, suppose if I wanted to work, I'll just close this all of the file and we'll open only these two files. See, again, don't keep this file there, spec.ts file. Again, you will confuse it. This is one testing file. So just delete it because there are two TS files are there, na? So you have to just keep only this TS file, not spec.ts file. So I'll come here and I'll create something. See, can you see there? It is OOPS architectures, basically class-based orientation. The JavaScript it's working without class-based orientation also. Correct na? But TypeScript will not support that. So here, what I'll do, like I'll just create the array. In a JavaScript, say like no need to like give the var keyword also. Without carry var keyword also it will work. And the array like you have to create inside the array bracket. Okay, so like let's say I'll set some element. So how do I display this element? Where I'll display this element, this is one the backend, na, the TypeScripts. So I have to come in the HTML file here. Here I want to display that array. How do I display? So for each also like not needed here. So for that like the some interpolation wala syntax they have given for binding that. Okay, it's very easy to bind this data. Just note down this one syntax. You can bind any data from there, from the TypeScript. Interpolation. Okay, so what is basically the interpolation? Interpolation, it is a part of like it is called as one-way binding. And the one-way binding, it is part of your data binding. So see here now, like we will see basically how to bind the data from TypeScript to HTML file, na, the template file. Correct? So but see, Why it is called as one-way data binding? Because we are taking the data from TypeScript to templates only, not other ways. So for taking that one, like we will follow the syntax, one syntax only. You have to use like the double curly braces and pass here your property name. This is syntax to access the TypeScript wala property here in a template file. Double curly braces. Single curly braces wala syntax was there na expression language wala dollar and double single curly braces. Here it is double curly braces. It is called as interpolation. Then it is. We'll check here. Now here I wanted to display in this HTML file. So here I set double curly braces and my property name was what? Array. Also do one thing, just install one extension that Angular also. It will give the auto suggestions. If sometimes like if you're doing the mistakes, so like it will show what mistakes are there. See here, like if I type like the array 1, so it will give me error. Which property is not there na? Inside it. Only array wala property is finding there. If I save, can you see there? See, all elements are getting displayed. If I wanted to access only the specific element, so you know the index. So indexing like we can go na here. So how to do this indexing? By array brackets. Let's say 0 or 2, like let's take anything. So it's access only the second wala elements, second index wala. Correct. So like as I said, like here, once you have done the updation of your code, now just do the save this file only, not other things. It will automatically refresh here. You can see like in bottom sides, automatically refreshing here also. Result is getting refreshed na there. Clear? So manually like no need to do anything. This is one the array wala part. How do we create the object, that JavaScript wala object? Tell me. Curly braces na here. So let's say my key is ID. I'm taking name. Okay. And to get this object, how to display this object now? Here I'll say break tag. Same obj. But see, like when I'll display this obj, so like what result is getting? See here, objects, because we are not accessing some specific property na here. So what you have to write here? Object dot property name na. So it's showing like both the property which are present there. Huh? So here like it will access the ID. Also you can add like the concatenation here plus object dot name. Clear? Within the interpolation bracket. This is called as the one-way data binding. So one side like we can bind the data. How to create array object? So this is one the single object, this is single array. Correct. So how to create like array object there? Array, inside I will pass the object. So what we are going to try here, like we are creating multiple object inside this single array. Correct na? So here suppose I am taking this field. So again we can take it like the more object na here. Correct. So here it is. So see, like I have created two objects. How to access this now? Yes. So again interpolation, array object. So can I directly access the property here? No, na. It is present inside first array. So need to access the first array here. So first I'll pass the index na here from the 0 dot the property name. Then it will access it na. Let's say like I want the name of the first index. Correct. If I change the index 1, so it will access the value of the first index. But see again, like how do I access both the ways, both the objects na, at the same time? So for that we needed loop. Correct. So for that, like the Angular provide like the looping, that is directives. It's called as directives, not looping. We'll see that later. First try to do this. So after that, like we'll go for the data binding. There are many data bindings are there. This is one part, that is interpolation. How to bind the data na, into like the templates basically. Do this fast. We'll see more data bindings here. So see here like how it will work. So like what I'm doing, like I'll just take the image instead of taking that data. This one image, we'll copy it, and where we have to place? In public folder, we'll paste it. So this is on the image, na? We started to run. Okay, so here only I want the image. So like what I'll do, like image and source, na, here. But the source I don't want directly to place it, na, there. Like dynamically I want the property. So first I'll come into the TS. After this bracket, let's say my image is my property, and I'll store, what is my file path? GIF, na, it's correct. So this is my file path, and what I'll do, like here inside the HTML file, my image, na. But see, like my image is what, like now the HTML content, it will just look for the image name, na, basically. But it is not image name. So how will you find out whether it is image or property name? See, when I like just put my cursor over there and insert like this attributes, so it's showing like there's something over there, like some link is present. But when I'll make the property bracket here, it's come into here. Can you see that? It's binding now property. If you write like any property name, so it will give the error which is not present there. Correct? Yes, understood this. So select when we'll save it. Clear? So this is called as property. How to bind the property. Clear? Not only for this, like you can bind like any property. There are many things now to bind the properties. In app.ts, here the second component, like I'm importing now, this one, just import it. Yes, done it is. Register it. So see, now I have registered like both the components. So it will show the result of both the components, first one and second one also. Okay, so I am commenting first one. I don't want this first one result. Just to comment it. No, again then like you need to stop the server. Na? Again you will start it server. So like don't interrupt the server. Na? It is already started. Just open the new terminal and whatever you have to create, na, just create it here only. Okay, so don't interrupt your server. Every time like will start stop with the server. See, I have registered only second component here, so it will show the result of only second, not first one. So see here, guys, all of you see here like how the style binding will work. That single style and multiple style binding. I'll close this file and will open only the second, this HTML and TS file. Okay, so again same. So here what I'll do, I'll just take a like one property name, let's say color is equals to, so it's my property na basically in a TS sites, and in a HTML file we'll take one, let's say the h1 tag, heading tag. Here like we'll give single style binding, it is. So how to bind this single style now? Here, this is one your element na. Here we'll pass the property binding wala brackets style dot your CSS property name. So which property like I want, like now color, let's say. You can take like any property name, it's not necessary to like take the color only. And which property like we have to bind it from it. Correct na? So like we'll save it and we'll check the result. Do refresh it. It's showing the blue color. If suppose here also like see the one more thing is there, let's say if I wanted to pass like the red color, so will it work or not? How do I set up if let's say like if I want here the static color, red color? I wanted to keep it that brackets also without removing that bracket. It is like the one property bracket na, it's asking for the property. Don't want, here I want the static value. Red is a static value na, and blue wala like I was taking from call wala property. It is just looking here for the property which is not present. What I have to do here for this? It's already there, property is already there. So say like no need to do anything, just pass like one more single code here. I have to just look for the static value. Correct? So if I remove the single quote, so it will just go for your property then. This is one your property. Correct? So it will check for your property then. This is one the single style, means at a time like we are binding only the single property na. How do we bind like more than one style, one property, more than one property? So here again like we'll take one more h1 tag. It is like multiple style binding. What was syntax for multiple style binding? Same na, here only like we have to write style, but don't put the property name, because if I put like the property, so it will just like look for the single property only. So here in a TS file, let's say calls, okay, and here how it will take the multiple properties now? No, don't want array objects, we string only na. No, backtick will also not take. That is object na. So in that like you have to pass like that. See the color, you know, like internal and external CSS wala. How to pass it like in colon na. Let's say color is red, then we have to separate it by semicolon. Correct? Then take another property, text hyphen decoration. We'll give it background color. See, I have binded like three property here now: background color, underline, and that color. And where we have to set here, na, like now false. We'll save this. Check the property name here. Array G is missing here. Understood? See, it's very simple. By taking the single property only, no need to do the extra efforts in the UI sites. So TS will do the everything. Correct? In HTML, like how we are doing, like we are just putting everything inside the UI sites, na? No need to do here. Clear? So this is called as style. And how to bind the class then? Class wala, how we are binding class? Dot na or hash? Class selector. Dot na, by binding the dot. So see, for the class binding, is possible to create class here inside this TS. SCSS file is there, na? So you can create the class here. Will come here. So tell me, like, how to create class here. Let's say my class name is what? C1. We'll give the color. Okay. One more class I am taking. C2. Background color. Take any color here. C3. Here we'll take it. Text decoration. Overline. Correct? See, I took like 3 classes, na, different classes, C1, C2 and C3. So how to bind like the particular class, first of all, tell me here. First of all, like we'll come into this. Let's say single class. Tell me for the single class how to bind the single class now. Here just give the selector name which are present there, C1, C2 or C3. And here it's single class. Here we have to write class, not style now. So which class like we are binding here? S class, no? So S class is my property name here. S class. And C1 I have binded here, no? We'll save this. Just refresh it. The single class. How do we bind the multiple class here? Tell me. How it will take the multiple? Comma? That is not property, na? That is a class. C1, C2, C3. How we are writing the class inside the HTML? If the multiple classes are there inside the single tag. Tell me here only, let's say there is one div tag. I wanted to pass like the multiple class here, na, inside. How we are writing the class? Tell me. HTML wala. Space, na, only. Like that, na. So it will take like all of the classes. So that only like we have to do here. Don't use the comma. Here we have to use the space. Save this. It's not saved. Here. Again here same, na, it is style only, and here we will give it M plus. Huh? Oh sorry, it is class. Overline, background color and property. So is this easy or difficult? See, anything like we can do here. Do it. Okay, we'll create the function name is, let's say, fun. So this is one my function, and we'll try to display like one alert message only. First we'll see like whether function is working or not correctly. Correct. So how do we call this function now? Here we'll take one button, we'll give the value of this button. Function calling, don't write like on click here, there. This is on the client side level, that is from the JavaScript sites. Okay, so we are just like looking for, if you try this one, see, fun is my function, there. Let's save this and come to here now in our application. So this is on the button. Correct, it will not hit because it's not calling our function, right? Because the event is not hitted here. So for hitting the event, like we have to use, so it's giving here, click, event binding. The refresh it, now you can see it's a event binding. For passing the data, like how do we pass like the data inside the function now? We have not passed any parameter na here. How to take the parameter in a JavaScript, like how parameters that going past there. In a JavaScript, I think we were directly passing like that, na? Let's say name, because there was no required for like any data type also. Where was there, na? So it was not looking like you have to be passed the where keyword there in JavaScripts. But here it is giving the error because it is expecting like the TypeScript wala value. But don't know like what type of data like here I'm passing. So like what I'll do like here, any. So one name wala parameter I'm passing. Instead of alert, like we'll remove it and we'll pass console.log name. So how to pass the value from this function now here? It will ask for the value na here in single quote. Correct. So like one value I have passed na here from this. When I click on the function, it will hit the value. But see again this value, like we have hard coded one na, how we can take like the value from user inputs. Correct. The same input box. In a JavaScript, like we were preparing like one method na, that is document.getElement by ID, the DOM manipulations wala. In a jQuery.val function was there directly. Correct. So here how we can take it? Let's say here there is one my text box na, and I'm taking the value from this text box. So whenever like I'll click on the button, so it should be hit the value from your text box only. Correct. So how it will take like the value from the text box? See now it will not hit na here. The value we have fixed. So for taking the value, like there is one syntax. Just note down one more technique is, one more concept is there. That is called as template reference variable. So there is no method document.getElement by ID. This is not required here. It's one very simple. Template reference variable. So inside just like note down, we have to pass reference. We have to pass reference inside the template. We have to pass reference inside the template by using hash. By using hash. Okay, so suppose if you are referencing this text box wala value na, just like pass the hash over there and just pass the reference name. Let's say my reference name is what, ref, let's say. You can pass like anything here. This is one your reference name. So here like this value I should be get it from the user input, na, not hard coded one. So I just like write there a reference dot value like that. So the value will get it from this text box now. So when I'll click on the submit button, so it will collect the value of this text box and it will submit it there then. Is understood this? We'll save this. Yeah. let's say Ram, it's sitting here, but instead of console, like if you want the same value on a page, then inner HTML, in a JavaScript inner HTML was there. Here how it will take it, then here we want na to display the value. See, value we are displaying here inside the console.log. We don't want here na. See, now we know the interpolation, how to interpolate the property na in a templates. So can I take like the one more property here where we can store it? Correct na? Let's say data, and what data type like will take it? Any. And what we have to do? But see, like for accessing any property inside the function here, like you have to take help of this keyword. Huh? Without this, it's not allowing. This dot is equals to name na. So can I display this data now? So here I can display it na, then interpolation na here data. See, not needed any inner HTML or anything. Correct. So suppose here I have the text Master Business Solutions, this one. So what I want now, like I just wanted to like take the value from the user input, this color, and when we click on the button, so like that color should be get applied to this particular text. How will you do? So color like will take it from this input box na, and we'll click on the button, so value is going from this. Correct. So here what we have to do? So data is nothing but my color na only. So can I take like one tag here? So we can use style binding. What is syntax of style binding? Style dot which property I want, and can I place here data? So there is no need to like display this data na here then. When I'll give the color red, correct na? We can assign any color based on this events. Instead of taking this input box again, take the color. You can choose any color then here. Yes, understood this event binding, how to bind the events. Do this. See, now the next technique is there now, that is more effective from this, the template reference. That is two-way data binding. It will save over like more work. See how it will work. So first one in the TS file, what we'll do, here I'll take it like the one property only. One property we have to take it. As per our definitions, like what is like written there. So whenever like we are doing some changes into our model means what? It's your the TS file. So that the same thing it is getting reflected into your view. So view is your the template file na basically. So how it will do, like basically see, let's say I'm taking the one property that is my data and data type is any. See, we just took only this property. I'll come into the HTML file. And we have to take it like the one text box. Okay, so here only I'll try to use that two-way data binding. So what was that syntax? ng model na inside the banana bracket. Just pass the banana bracket first. But see, now it is giving error because it's needed to like import one module, that is the forms module. So where we have to like import that module then? In TS. In import section, I'll import the forms model. See this one, which is present inside the forms. Once it is imported, I'll come into this. So see here only, like when you type this brackets, you will get the idea here, that is ng model. Okay, and inside this, like you have to bind the property. What property like we have created? My data. Okay, so this is one the property, and what I'm doing, like I'm just like displaying the property here only, my data. Understood this, like what I did here? This property, like I have declared in a second.ts file na here. This is my data wala property. Right now there is no data. We have not written anything na here, and we have just bind the same property here now inside the HTML file. So what it will happen na, whenever like you are trying to type anything na inside this text box, it will automatically, it will fit out the here the data. It will reflect here inside the view file. So now data is not present na, they are statically, like we are not presenting it, like we are giving the dynamic data here. Yes, without refreshing. Yes, managing the states dynamically only. Clear? So see, like we'll take the use there. This is one the input box. Here I'll try to type something. Can you see there? It's two-way. So we are taking the data through the model na? And it's automatically, it's just like reflecting to your view file. So you can type anything here. Understood? So like see, in a previous one, in the previous example, like what we did, like if we were taking the user input value through this reference, na, template reference. So we can directly take it through this one also, na. So how it will set into the function now, you just tell me. If suppose this is one my color, okay, so can I apply the color here directly? Correct, na, just take it like the one h1 tag. Hello master. So here like you have to set style dot, and which property we have to bind. No need to create the function, anything here. Just type it. No need to click anywhere, it will do automatically there. Just give it the type as color. Just select it like whichever the color you want. Two-way, that's why it's called as two-way. See, not needed anything like here, like not needed any function like anything else. It's handling automatically there, everything. Two sides it is handling, right? It's not one side. So that's why it is called as two-way. Just understood this. It's called as two-way data binding. It's useful or not? It's very useful.